Yeah, I thought we played pretty well overall on defense. It's not to say that it was perfect, but we did enough to get a win. Played pretty good in the first half, I thought. The second half, they started running the ball a little bit on us, which we need to get cleaned up, and coaches have addressed it, and we're going to work on it. And yeah, glad we won.
Seems the biggest runs you've given up most of the year have been to quarterbacks. Is that hard to account for a quarterback in rushing defense, or what's going on there, Chase?
Sometimes when the quarterback is scrambling around a little bit, I think it's more. But what Wyoming was getting us with was more of a quarterback power play, and our run fits weren't as tight as they should have been. He was getting through there, getting way too many yards. And they hit us on the one long run, but that was on a 3rd and 1, and that was a running back. That wasn't a quarterback on that one.
Now, down through the years against New Mexico, they've always had a running quarterback with their system. They're throwing the ball a little bit more,
Yep.
but their quarterback looks like he can still run the ball
Yep,
for them, too.
no,
Same kind of thing.
Very much so. Yeah, he's really athletic, so we're going to have to contain him. We're going to have to be a lot better than we were against Wyoming in the run game. And, I mean, he's athletic. He's going to be running around back there, so we got to pay attention to him. We got to corral him.
Chase, I got to think, I mean, Chambers hadn't played all year for them. You probably hadn't really scouted him at all. So just talk about how challenging was it to make in-game adjustments for them, making their Wyoming quarterback change their third quarter.
Yeah, so we hadn't seen him at all. But the plays, the quarterback power that they were running against us was stuff that we'd seen in their film, but it wasn't something that they'd run a ton of. So, obviously they put a quarterback in there. He's a little bit more athletic than the other kid, and tried to run the ball at us, and they were successful at it. So, we had to just tighten down our run fits, like I said, and we ended up doing it enough in the second half to get us a win. But there's still a lot we need to work on and improve.
How did you feel after the end of the game? You made a heck of a lot of plays. You
Um,
played a lot of plays.
Yeah, it was a battle, but I mean, you feel tired, but it doesn't really matter when you get a win. So it's a good feeling when you wake up on Sunday morning and you feel like, your body's just beat to crap and you're trashed and you're all beat up. It's great, and we won. So especially when it's a defensive battle, it's great to be a part of that.
I don't know how you watch film. Do you watch it as a whole defensive team, or do you watch it just as a linebacker group
Both.
from the game?
Yeah.
With both.
A little bit of both. Yeah.
What is the defense, when you watch it as a whole defense, was there anything said among the guys on the defensive side about how you and David seem to be on almost all those plays all day long?
Not necessarily, but it's interesting because it's not the production that me and David have isn't necessarily just what me and David are doing. It's the defensive line doesn't get nearly the amount of credit that they should for the work that they do, because when you see inside linebackers in particular, having success, it's because the D-line are keeping O-linemen off of us to make plays. So although our production was high, it's not, you can't say, both of us played exceptionally well. The D-line played really, really well.
Chase, you've seen L.J. Scott, Squally Canada, Lexington Thomas, and Nico Evans. Out of those 4 really good backs, if you have an opinion, which one would be the best back that you've had to face?
It's hard to say. They're all pretty good in their own right. Each running back is different. Their running style, some of them are more elusive. You might say they're harder to tackle, and some of them will run you over like the kid from Michigan State. But it all depends. Every week is different.
Nico is the first running back who had 100 yards rushing on you guys this season. What made him so difficult to bring down?
Give Wyoming credit, but I think it was more of mistakes that we made on defense that kind of sprung him for the long runs that he had. It wasn't necessarily that they were doing something that we hadn't seen before. It's just that we made mistakes that were pretty uncharacteristic of us up until this point.
I want to ask you about John Rockamore's pick.
Yeah.
Athletic as all get out.
For
What
sure.
did you see on that play? What was it like watching him take it back?
I saw the guy that he was supposed to be covering run out to the flat, and then him kind of in no man's land, which was kind of shocking. But then he jumped up and made an incredible play and picked it. Yeah. wish he would have scored, and we give him a hard time for getting tackled by a quarterback. But great play, for sure.
It seems like, I mean, you guys spent tons of time on the field as a defense, and it seems like we saw all kinds of different faces and guys going out there. Just what does it say about the depth of this defense that you guys, despite spending so much time out there, were able to still come out with a win?
Yeah, it says a lot about our depth at every position, really. You know, there's not really one position that I think about that the two deep isn't really, really solid, and we wouldn't mind having either of the two guys play. And it also says a lot about, you know, the character of our team. I don't necessarily think that we were thinking about, oh, we've been out here for so long and we're tired. It's more like we love to play football, and we love when the defense is out on the field because we feel like we can make a real impact in the game. And so we loved every second that we were out there. We love fighting.
And with conditioning, it seems like a lot of guys have told us that facing this offense is the best conditioning you can get in practice. Does that seem to be the case? I mean, do you feel more in shape and more ready to go for those long games like this year than you have before?
Yeah, absolutely. When you're playing our offense, especially when we're in the fall camp and the spring ball type settings, when they're just pacing you and you can go 10 plays and it seems like you never get a break in between snaps. It's really, really good conditioning, and so I think it's definitely been a part of the better conditioning that the defense has had this year.
Chase, can you address the last couple of years, games that were close, kind of like this game, and the Air Force game got close. We didn't find a way. What's it like to be on a more of a confident level in these closer games than you guys seem to be at, no matter what you needed to take care of? Defense had to stop Air Force. You had to make plays defensively. What's that like?
Oh, it's great. I mean, it seems like, yeah, you're right. It seems like the past couple of years that I've been here, every close game, it seems like we'd find a way to lose it. And now we're more of a mindset of we're going to do everything we can to find a way to win it. And the Air Force game and this game are a great example of that, of doing everything we can to find a way to win a game.
What changed with that? I mean, is that based on experience, or is that based on just mental toughness, or what is that?
Maybe a little bit of experience, but I think it's more of a mindset, and there's a confidence and there's a just an attitude on this team that we believe in ourselves and we believe that we're going to win, and we're going to do everything that we can to find a way to win. And it's kind of hard to put a finger on, but it's at the end of the day, it's a mindset, I think.
And it's a team game. You guys never blame the offense. They don't blame you. So now in the mentality of a close game, and we didn't play as well as a team as we should have, what does that do to this week, do you think? Preparation for New Mexico, playing at home and all that kind of stuff.
I think a close game is going to, motivate you to do a little bit better this week than you did last week in your preparation. It's I don't want to say it's a good thing to have a close game, but it's a wake-up call, I think, for everyone on the team to understand that we need to keep getting better every week. We need to focus on the little things, and we need to work on our fundamentals and just get a little bit better.
Chase, what can you say about this year's senior class and being a part of it, ending the way you have started this season?
No, I'm really proud to be a part of it, especially 2 years ago, when we only won 3 games, to see the changes that we need to make and working all year, every day, to try to get better. And so I'm really proud of going from a team who only won 3 games to going to a team right now that's just 6-1, and that's only right now. And our goals are, obviously a lot bigger than just being 6-1. So I'm really excited for what's to come, and I'm really proud to be a part of the senior class.
As one of the seniors, what would you remember most about your time at Utah State and with the Aggies?
Just the people I've met, the friends that I've made. All the seniors, and not even the seniors, but the underclassmen and the people that were here before me, lifelong friends, just incredible people here.
I think from seeing the game, you guys can tell, we didn't execute how we wanted to as an offense, but, luckily and thankfully enough, we were able to make some plays early on and coming out of the half to, get us through and secure the win.
Do you like being called to come in today to have to speak again for the offense after a game like that? I mean, that was unusual. You guys never expected to have a game like that.
No. Yeah, you never expect to go into a game, and have multiple 3-and-outs, but it's the nature of the game. It happens sometimes. You don't panic about it. You don't get nervous. You just go back to the drawing board, see what went wrong, and see what you have to work on in the week to come. And there is always another game next week, so you just have to continue to move on and try to figure out a way to stack those wins.
What I just asked Chase, does that kind of effort change how you're going to prepare? Do you think the offense is all going to prepare for the game this week because of the kind of game you have?
Well, I think we prepare every week, hard, and understanding that each week is a threat to our ultimate goal, which is winning the Mountain West Championship. So, we're definitely going to understand that we didn't do what we wanted to do last weekend, but we definitely have to focus on a new opponent, see how we want to attack them, see what is going to work against them, and make sure we do what we need to do in practice to be successful on Saturday.
So looking back at the game, I mean, obviously there are probably things that you wish that the offense could have done differently. But what was it that the defense threw at you that made it so tough all game long?
I think they just played, they came out physical. They understood, we were an offense that scored a lot of points. And, they were a team, I believe they were 2-4 before they played us. And, then it was their homecoming game. So, they were, I guess, tired of getting beat up on. They wanted to establish their identity that they can play football as well. And they were a talented defense. Give them credit. Those guys did their thing on Saturday, especially their front seven. So they played their hearts out.
They were able to get some pressure on Jordan, which is something you guys really haven't seen the last few games. So what was it about their aggressive pass rush that can benefit you guys the rest of the season, that you learned from that, how you can attack that kind of pass rush?
Well, I think the benefit for us would be is that we saw it now. It didn't happen to us in the championship game, or a game that would definitely threaten us to get to the championship. So we know, like, we have weaknesses as well. We aren't Superman. We are untouchable. So I'm glad it happened to us now, and that we understand what our weaknesses are and what we can't, where we need to anchor down and what we can't let happen.
On the Scarver return for a touchdown, 2 key blocks were made. One was by Deion Thornberry, the other one was by you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about that kickoff return, what you saw to set him free?
Well, to set him free, that's just 10 other guys doing their job, But my job is always to see guys coming off the backside, or see guys, who may be beating their blocks, and, pick those guys up so Savon can be successful. And luckily enough, the kicker, he kicked it down the middle of the field, which is, never good for the opposing team. But and the way our return was set up, we were able to execute, and guys were in the right position.
Jalen, you haven't spent much time with this senior class, so it's a little different than, say, like Chase Christiansen. But how has this year been for you with these guys so far?
Oh, it's been a blessing. I take it one day at a time because, my time here will be short, and it's only getting shorter by the day. So, I just hope to continue to, create friendships, relationships, and more memories as we, continue to try to win each game and, get to the ultimate goal, which is a championship.
Have you looked at any New Mexico film yet?
Oh, no, that's my goal
That's your
today.
next deal?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing once I can get out this chair.
They definitely have given up quite a bit of passing yardage this year. So you would have been hungry regardless of who the opponent was. But I mean, how much does that just kind of whet your appetite to get back on track as a passing team this game?
I'm always drilling at the mouth, hoping we can go for 600, 500 yards as an offensive game, and whether that is on the ground or through the air, is just it just makes it more exciting. And I just like to see the guys having fun, being relaxed. I think we got a little tight last game because it got up on us. We're like, whoa, okay, we're really in the game. And I just liked how we respond. We didn't get to score as many points as we wanted, but we didn't fold. I don't think. We did have negative plays, but that's just the nature of the game. So I'm going to go in and film, see my opponent, see who I'm going to match up against this weekend, just get to it, get ready for practice tomorrow.
Jalen, you weren't here the last couple of years, but this team has already, met the win total from last year, and there's always everyone saying, that it's the best start since so-and-so year. What's it like to just come in and see this much success right away in your first year at Utah State?
I think that's a credit to, all the work that's been put in, since the spring. And, guys, I know once I got here, all the guys were still anxious about that bowl game, and we definitely got the payback when we played New Mexico State. And, it's just a credit to, all that work you put in, seeing it pay off. And you just have to keep reminding yourself it's a grind. The season is a grind. So we're starting off fast, and we just have to make sure we stay on pace to finish fast.
How fun was it to be in a close game? I mean, I know you guys love putting up 60 points a game, but to have a game where a drive that you guys had to put the game away, I mean, was that somewhat exciting, or?
Well, it's not exciting when you're there because, you want to figure out, like, man, what's going on? Like, why aren't we, doing what we know we can do? But I believe the fun part is, it's just seeing guys come together. It's like when you're down, nobody's pointing the finger at each other. Like Chase wouldn't tell you, but the offense, we weren't doing our job. Like the big credit to the defense. Those guys, we were constantly on 3 and out, and they were picking us up. They were taking us out the hole. We turned the ball over on the 15 or 20-yard line, and they forced a field goal. So that's tremendous and huge credit to the defense. But just the way that we gel together as an offense, defense, teams, and coaches, that tells you the nature of your team, like the true character of your team.
I want to ask you, what's it been like to play underneath Coach Wells?
Oh, it's been great, Coach Wells, he brings energy every single day, He's going to be on you. He doesn't miss a thing, whether I'm transitioning from period to period in practice, you're always going to hear Coach Wells and see him, on a guy's case about just trying to be the best he can be. Like, he won't let you let up.
Proud of our guys. Really good win on the road in Laramie. I'm reminded of some similarities of the 2014 game when we played excellent defense, found a way to score once on special teams and then hit a long run on offense, and it was a very, very oddly similar game without the weather as the 2014 game. But I thought our guys hung in there. Thought our defense played really good. Still got stuff to clean up. Still didn't fit some stuff right. And I like it that our staff and our players are, I think, really motivated to play great all the time and to fit everything right and to play perfect. We'll always strive for perfection, and we'll be satisfied with excellence. And I think that that was an excellent outing by our defense. Saturday, a really timely kickoff return. A lot of people to give credit for on that. I'm going to start, with the front line of the kickoff return. Taylor Compton, Fortenberry, Parker made great blocks at the point of attack. Great blocks. Mo Walker and Chase Nelson did an excellent job. Jalen Green had a key block coming out of there. And then Savon, you saw the track speed that Savon's got, and everybody's seen by now. So a great job there. DeAndre Smith kind of scheming that up. But really timely. Didn't play like we wanted to on offense. Didn't play well really anywhere all the way around except at running back, I thought. Thought Darwin and G. Bright really ran well. They ran behind their pads, made some tough, well-earned runs, yards. And I thought Carson Terrell blocked really, really well. He's played well 2 weeks in a row and blocked really well up front against a couple really good defensive ends for them. So I think that those were some good bright spots. And it's just I'm just proud of our guys because it was a different way to win. And I think when you get on this run, sometimes expectations by coaches and media and fans is that you're going to play a certain way because you've played a certain way, and I get that and I understand that, but it was a great way for us to win. And it's a lot easier to teach off wins, and we all know that. Winning in college football is extremely hard every week. If it was easy, everybody would do it every single week. And, I'm thinking right now, I got a text after the game and from, I think he's the winningest basketball coach in Utah State history. I'll let you tell me if I'm wrong on that. And a guy that's been to Laramie a bunch over his career at a couple different schools. And the text said, Matt, it's extremely hard to win in Laramie in any sport. Enjoy the win, make your corrections, and move on. And it's, that kind of validated to me that everything that we always say here, it's hard to win in Laramie. I said that last Monday sitting here. I knew they'd played really good. They're very well coached. They're very disciplined. They're tough. It's a blue-collar program. I've got a lot of respect for the staff and the players on that team. I'm glad I don't have to play against Wingard anymore. He is an extremely good player. So anyway, I'm proud of our guys because that's a hard place to win. And I recognize that, and I tip my hat in respect to that program. And, now we go into this week with New Mexico, with the Lobos, and they play us tough. We've had tough games against them. We play them tough, they play us tough, however you want to look at it. It's a very competitive game every time we play the Lobos. It really is, and I know we'll get their best shot. They're very well coached. They've got athleticism. I love their nose guard. I like him. He is a physical, tough guy. Levin's got some speed off the edge. The punt returner 23 is a really good rangy safety, and he is a weapon. We are going to have be on high alert on our punt team. In fact, we're going to start working that today. I haven't seen their offense as much. I know they're very athletic. I've just watched some. It's obviously early in the week, but they are athletic. They always are. It'll be extremely tough, competitive Mountain Division game on Saturday. And looking for a great crowd. It'll be great weather, and hopefully we'll give our fans something to cheer about. So, with that, go ahead and open it up. Al?
Coach, I have to ask you, was something wrong with Jordan Love? I mean, he just didn't seem to be the normal guy that we've seen.
I think there was, we didn't protect him real well. We didn't run real good routes, and he didn't throw very accurate balls. And we'll be fine. I'm not worried about it one bit. And we really just couldn't get out of the funk either, really.
The other thing I wanted to ask was about, you've been the last couple of years through all of these tough games and things don't go right. Isn't it nice to have tough things, but you still find some way in the Air Force game with the defensive stops and one long run, or in this game where you do get enough and your defense does stop them? I mean, isn't that
absolutely
it's a nicer way to play?
No question. And it's something that we talked about and tried to train in training camp a little bit more pointed training, and it was just simply finish. It's not harder, it's not longer, it's just more intensified focus. It's a little bit more attention to detail. It's communicating a little bit more. It's all those kind of things that take no talent. And it wasn't very long ago we lost 5 games by 1 possession 2 years ago, and I knew we were that close. And then last year we had 3 losses, and then the last minute of the game, and one of them being the Wyoming game. We lost, and you're that close to having an 8 or 9 win season last year. And so I hadn't forgotten those, and neither of our players. And so, yeah, I mean, you've got to win games like this to compete for a championship, and that's what we all want. That's the ultimate goal. And so that's why I'm very, very happy winning the way we did.
Coach, can you talk about the John Trail Rockmore interception? It's just incredibly athletic play by him and what you saw. I know it was on the far side, but...
Yep. I'll just describe the headsets. No. Score!
Good enough.
I'll just leave it at that.
Good enough, Coach. Thanks.
This guy's behind him. And
Chase said that too?
Well,
He didn't say it as direct and blunt as that? Yeah, he left it for me. Extremely athletic play. What a great play.
I mean, Chase and Woodward, unbelievable games.
Yeah.
And like when we talked to Chase about it, though, he says we got to remember the defensive linemen take care of all the people so we can make those
I said that this morning. Chris Unga, Devon Anderson, Adewale Adoye, those, I mean, they played extremely well. A lot of them played. Sone Fata played, Dalton Baker, Jacoby Wildman, Fua Leilua. But when you see linebackers with those kind of stats and that kind of production, and really, except for one really long run that we did not fit well at outside backer, linebacker, and safety, you take that one long run away, then we played really good run defense. And when those two guys have that kind of production, their defensive line played really well. So I'm proud of those guys. Those are the unsung heroes really right now. The defense right now is that D-line.
And the thing we talked about with Chase, too, is quarterback running the ball. And a lot of them have been scrambles this year that have beaten you with bigger things. But this game, they came up with this. But New Mexico will obviously run their quarterback at you.
New Mexico's got good QB run game. This QB run game was a little different. It was a little methodical with the power read, and they did a nice job with it. And he is a big, strong young man. And, I can say we didn't fit stuff up well, but in the same breath, I got to say nice job by them. Nice job scheming some stuff and nice job by them executing. We didn't adjust to it as well as we wanted to.
Coach, you talked about how hard it is to win games and how your team's going to celebrate every win. What was the mood like after this one?
Oh, I think it was a joyous win. I mean, that's maybe not the right term, but yeah, I think you have in every win you celebrate, and I saw them celebrating. I've sensed them celebrating, and I also sensed an offensive group that wants and needs and realizes they got to play better, and they will. They will. They've played very well up until this point. And I also sensed a defensive group that says, Coach, we played good, but. And then you're like, yeah, celebrate, though, and we'll fix that on Monday morning. So I think it's the right mix. I don't see us being too critically hard on ourselves, and I don't see us being allowing people to pat us on the back and all that kind of stuff. And I mean that real, so y'all don't start patting them on the back, okay?
And this Wyoming game really was so valuable in so many ways. I doubt you guys couldn't have seen film of Sean Chambers. He hadn't played all season. So how valuable was it for you as coaches and for your players to have to be on your toes a little bit for maybe in-game adjustments that you weren't expecting?
Yeah, I think we made some good in-game adjustments. Like I said, the guy's a good, young, strong, running quarterback, and that was a good plan that they had, and it was a good compliment to Evans.
So is New Mexico throwing the ball a little bit more than they?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what, they got some weapons out on the outside. They got a big 6'4" receiver.
Well, he's the guy who
19.
caught the long pass against you down there a couple of years ago.
Well, thanks, Al, for reminding me of that. Yeah. I know that. 19 is really athletic, and he's explosive with the ball. They're throwing it. They're running it. The new offensive coordinator, so they're a little bit different in what they've been doing. Or I guess what I'm saying, we're accustomed. Y'all are accustomed to. We're seeing from them previously. So they have always been extremely athletic. I tell you what they do is if they get the ball in space and you're unsound in your coverage, they've got the ability to hit a home run. And they've got a couple more wideouts than they've had in the past. They've always had tailbacks that are explosive, and I don't think that that's anything different with this bunch.
Owens has played the last couple of years against you a lot. And running back is there. Do they still run? Are they still running that option type stuff?
Not near like they've done in the past. It's a little bit. I would call it a lot more spread than it was a lot heavier option oriented the last several years.
When you look at this senior class, I'm working on this senior class story for the end of the year, but what do you see from them and what they've been able to accomplish during their time here, and especially what they're doing so far this year?
Yeah. Man, I'd like to answer that question a little bit closer to your deadline for that story, just to let it play out a little bit. But you're trying to get ahead on your story, so I recognize that. You know what it is it's a senior class. I think we're in the middle of something special, and I think we're in the middle of something that could be a really good season if we'll stay the course. And I recognize, too, that you have to stack one on top of another, and this is a huge week for us. But this class has been, I think of the 8 senior captains. Tarver's a 3-for-3 junior college kid. Sully's a 2-for-2, and then you got, a couple transfers, Ficklin and Roman, that have been here for 2 years. So you've got a few more 2-year guys and 3-year guys, and then I got a DJ Nelson that's, wanted to play in Romney Stadium, now Maverick Stadium, his whole life. And what a tremendous leader. Chase Christiansen, a 5th-year senior, that came here as a quarterback. And so they all have their own stories, but they've done a great job of kind of meshing together. Gage Ferguson, he's been here for 4 years, 1 year at Snow, another Cache Valley kid. So they're all, what's kind of neat is it's a kind of a little bit of a melting pot, maybe, if you will, of a senior class from LDS return missionaries out of state to in-state guys to Cache Valley guys to some junior college players that have really, I think, the guys that came in, the 2 and 3 year guys came in at a critical point in this program the last 5 years, which was a couple years ago, and they, I would say, steadied the ship and righted the ship. And you got guys that have bled Aggie blue since they were born, in Gage Ferguson and DJ Nelson, and so I think it's kind of neat to see all of those different backgrounds come together. And man, we're not even to the end of it yet, So it's been a really good class of productive leadership. And when I say that, I always preach that you have to produce and you have to play well before you have the platform to lead. And every one of those guys have performed on the field, and it's given them a platform to lead a little bit better. And so I'm proud of this senior class, what they've done, but there's still a lot more out there for them right now.
Was this not a very good offensive line game then against Wyoming? Is this about as poor as the offensive line has played, or is that fair to say? I mean, looking at it, it didn't look like it was a great game offensive line.
Well, I think, first of all, I think Wyoming's defensive line had something to do with that. I think it's a very good defensive line. I think there were times that we got our eyes down, and fundamentally and from our fundamental and technique standpoint, I think we weren't as disciplined as we've been. And I think we can do that a little bit better in terms of run blocking and pass protecting. We got to keep Jordan clean. We got to keep guys off of him. And then consequently, we have to get open on the perimeter, and we have to be accurate as a QB. That helps and accentuates when the O-line does play well. So we were all in it together a little bit Saturday.
How's Sully's brother playing for New Mexico?
City, yeah. City is a really good, productive linebacker. And, he's not only is he an identical twin, but he plays very similar to Sully in that he likes to get up and they like to blitz him and pop him in some A-gaps. And he's active all over the place. You can see a lot of Sully in him because, obviously, they're brothers and all that, but they play very similar.